back to our channel. I'm Bianca, one of the bosses, and welcome here. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. We make videos on home, parenting, marriage, faith. So if that's your jam, please stay and become part of our boss family. So today we're going to talk all about my birth story part 2. In part 1, I basically described why we ended up doing a C-section and why I did not get the baby back like I wanted. I was very scared to do it again. If you want to know that whole story, go back and watch the video here. And today I'm going to walk you through basically, literally, my birth story and what happened as the day went by. So let's get to it. Good morning. So bags are packed, ready to go. Doggies are confused. Hey baby. Tommy's gonna go bye-bye. I'm gonna miss this. I do not like the flabby organ swimming around feeling. We're ready to go. And we're gonna take a last photo and then head off to the hospital. Lights is bad. Big bump. So basically I had to stop eating the previous night around like 8 p.m. they said, which was fine because we normally eat dinner at like 5:30. So that was not a problem. And then I had to start drinking water or stop drinking any fluids by 10 p.m., which is a very big problem for me because I drink water throughout the night. I drink probably maybe a liter at night and at morning a lot as well. So that was a problem. I did not stop drinking water at all because my previous cesarean, I was literally told to stop drinking the previous night, and I only got, my appointment was at 4 p.m. the next day, and I thought that I was going to die, and I was constantly sneaking in like sips of water. I'm just going to drink water if I'm thirsty, and I did try to limit myself though. But there's that. Okay, this video is going on to a jam. I'll be right back. Okay, so Sarah has joined us, and I need to throw out his face. You're making editing work for me. I did not want editing work. So let's see if I can stand still, because that's difficult for me. Anyways, so moving on. I had to be at the hospital at 6:45, and I had to be in the theater, or not the ward. I had to be in the ward, but at around 7 a.m. And I really wanted a private room. I couldn't get one because the last one was just taken like 2 minutes before I got there. So I got in, did the filing. Then they take your weight and your length for the anesthesiologist, basically. And my cesarean was booked for 9 a.m. that morning. I was second on the list as far as I know. And then they actually only started like doing my filing in the ward. I have no idea why they have to do like filing over and over again if they have everything on record, but they only started doing all of that at 9 a.m. when I was supposed to go in, and that takes about like an hour to 2 hours. And that morning they had 2 emergency cesareans, so they took quite a while to get around to me. Then they had to take some blood for an iodine test, or they took some blood to check my levels. They took an iodine test to check my allergies. Then they took my blood pressure, my sugar levels, and my oxygen to basically know what my normal stats are. After that, I got a drip with, what do you call it? Natrium chloride. What is natrium? Sodium in English. Yes. I got a drip with sodium chloride in, and I'm just checking my notes here. And then they told me to get dressed in the gown, and then they shave you to make sure you're clean enough according to their standards where they have to cut. Okay, so they did tell me no food. Here I wrote it down actually. No food and water after a certain hour, right? But then I went into theater, into the theater ward around 12 o'clock, midday. So I was supposed to go in at 9. I didn't eat anything. I have chronic low blood sugar, which means I need to eat every 3 hours because I go into comatose levels. My sugar drops like a lot. So they took me in around 12. I was feeling pretty crappy. I was feeling pretty crappy by that time, honestly, like very dizzy, very nauseous. I just felt bad. Okay, anyway, there they took my blood pressure again. They took my oxygen again. Then they put in my spinal. So you have to bend over like this. And they inject first like a pain thing in. And then they inject the spinal straight into the spinal cord. I did like jump a little bit this time. So that's that you're not supposed to move. But everything was fine. And then they put in the catheter and you feel your legs go numb. So this time the spinal actually took, guys. Like I did not feel life come back at all. I was so thankful. I was so thankful that I didn't feel a thing, like not a thing. I didn't even feel her pinch me. It really worked well this time. And this time the anesthesiologist was obviously prepared for if something goes wrong. I did meet the doctor, the doctor's assistant, the anesthesiologist, and all the nurses actually beforehand. So when I got into theater, they had some music on, which was different to my first doctor's theater. And my first doctor, the vibe was very like sterile and cold and harsh, and I didn't like it. It was really like, it didn't even feel like hospital vibes. It felt like factory vibes almost, you know. I don't know how to put it. But this time it was like music and chill, and everyone was like laughing and talking to me. Excuse you. So what's keeping you awake? And all of those things. It was really like a great atmosphere. And then they cut me. They were asking me like, what am I staring at? And I was like, I'm looking at the reflection in the light. I want to see. And they're like, oh, normally people are like grossed out. So they turned the light so that I could see better. Obviously in a way that they also can still see. But then I could see the entire opening, and that was so much fun. That is what I asked for the first time, and then the doctor just put a cloth there so I couldn't see. So that was really great to actually see it this time, and just go through the motions, and I enjoyed it. So then first what they did is they had to take away the scar tissue of my previous C-section. That's what my doctor did. So she kind of cleaned up the cut first before opening everything else. And then she went on, continued, and they took baby out. There was a lot of water. A lot. And then we did a little bit of a delayed cord clamping, just a little bit. So the anesthesiologist was actually nice and kind enough to take some photos. I'll be right there, babes. To take some photos for us as he came out. I'll insert some of it here. And took some photos, and then we they obviously do the court camping, but then we did, like, my husband did a piece of the court camping for a photo and just memory. And I was holding him on top of my chest while they were closing, which I also did not experience the previous time, to hold her that long. So they didn't take him away at all to measure or weigh or check or clean or anything. I was just holding him the whole time while they were cleaning. I was just holding him the whole time while they were cleaning, or not cleaning, while they were closing. And that was a really good experience. So I'll be back. A comment that the doctor actually made was he was very pink when he came out. Normally babies are all white or blue, bluish actually, and he was very pink very fast, which was interesting. He did cry quite a lot, which was also a surprise. Laura is a very quiet baby, but then I also have to say his cry was extremely soft, like a soft cry, not like a screeching cry. Some of the other babies in the ward had this high screeching loud cry. His cry was very soft. Like, it was interesting to say. Like, it was just an interesting observation. He did cry a few times, but then he also stopped very fast, and then he immediately started sucking his fingers and self-soothing, which is something he still does. Clearly he has some itchy gums today because he's just trying to suck anything and everything today. Cutie. I was just lying there, and then I started to yawn and feel extremely tired, and the anesthesiologist immediately picked it up and he was like, uh-oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I was like, nothing. And he's like, no, you're not supposed to yawn. And he started, I don't know what, he did something. And then I started getting pins and needles in my face, and I started getting nauseous. And I was like, I'm really nauseous right now. And they gave me a little vomit catcher, and he gave me some oxygen. Because then immediately, I said I'm nauseous. I said that I was feeling nauseous. He immediately gave me oxygen because he's like, that's a sign of oxygen levels dropping. And there was I don't know, a 1 second delay in the monitor, and not really 1 second, split second, as he was pushing it, the stat was coming in, then my oxygen was dropping down to, let me see what I wrote here, 89. Okay, which is not super low, but it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't go below 90 or 92. Not sure. But then it was 89, and he immediately gave me oxygen, in my nose. Can I just tell you, that's the best feeling ever. Immediately you're fresh, awake, the nausea is gone. It's just this clean air. What an amazing feeling. That's something that I really could get addicted to, honestly. Really feels great. After closing, which I didn't even this time, last time they would burn the veins, I guess, to stop them from bleeding, or muscles, or something. And then I would do this. And this time that didn't happen. I didn't smell them. I don't know if they did it. But I did have excessive bleeding last time, so that might be. So I don't know if that's a normal thing that they do, but I didn't I don't know if they did this time around. But then afterwards, they gave me a pain block injection in both my hips. And then husband and baby went out to the baby, not the baby ward, the station where they keep all the babies, to weigh him, check him, do all these things. we're almost done, we're almost done, we're almost done, we're almost done. And then they put you in like a room across from the theater just for like 10 minutes and check on your stats, especially because my oxygen dropped. So they were just checking my blood pressure and oxygen like every 60 seconds or something, just for like 15 minutes. But everyone in the theater was extremely nice. The doctor kept asking me questions. Am I okay? How am I feeling? 'Cause obviously she knew I didn't want to be there. So she was just super kind. But what I did get is called a sensitive C-section, which you normally have to have like a, I think it's let me go clean him. Okay, so back in my room after like 15 minutes, baby got back really fast. We did skin to skin, we did breastfeeding. I made a breastfeeding video, which you can check out right there. My legs were still very dead. Like, it's very weird because I tried to move my legs because I was quite uncomfortable, and I can feel myself like moving my leg, but I'm looking at it and it's not moving like at all. It's the weirdest feeling. I hate it. But everything went fine this time. My spinal went very well. Everything went well. And the doctor came in and told me like I can start eating as soon as I want. I just have to like eat behind the nurse's back, because apparently the nurses do not allow you to eat for I don't know how long, because they are checking your system. But she's like, she doesn't even touch my digestive system. There's nothing that's going to affect my digestive system. I can eat if I want to eat. And I'm obviously on diuretics, Mobicol, they put you on Mobicol so that you don't have to push number 2. So like, it's really not a problem. And then my husband got some pizza for us. So he went and got some pizza and we ate pizza. I did ask for a private room, because the private room has nice cupboards and things where you can pack everything out, and it's very easy for a C-section because you don't have to bend or look for something. Whereas in the ward, you get like one closet for everyone, and there's like you have to bend over, and it's very difficult. But thankfully, no one else was in my room. I was in the room at the end of the hall. No one else was in my room, and because I asked for a private room, they did come the next day and tell me that they will give me the private room as soon as it's open that day, because the person is being like booted, and I'm next on the list because I requested one. You do pay extra for the private room. But then what was very nice was, for some reason, that person was not like, I don't know, the room was taking very long, and they were like, you know what, the ward's quite empty. They have space in the other rooms to put the new people in that's coming in. What if they just leave me in this room and they leave me alone in the room? Then I don't even have to pay extra, but I can get like a private room. It's just not the same room. And I was like, yes, fine. Then I don't have to move. It's fine. I can use the other bed to put things on. And that worked really well. Like, I had the space, I had the privacy, and I saved the money, and they were extremely kind. Anyway, so then after that, seeing the doctor, eating lunch, they did come and check my blood pressure and my oxygen for an hour, like every 15 minutes. And then they came to change my pad and clean me. And yes, then they checked my blood pressure and oxygen again, like every 4 to 6 hours while I was there. I had to work through an antibiotic drips, which, now that I think about it, I would not have done. But anyway. And then I got pain medication every 6 hours. I did get a laxative bullet inside at night for pain. And then, not a laxative pill, like a pain, I don't know what you call it, anal pill, whatever. And then I had to wait. They told me that I was not allowed to eat. And obviously, like, I had my pizza around, 1 o'clock, 1:30. And by 7, I was hungry again. And I was asking them, when am I going to get food? Like, can I see a menu? Can I actually choose the food? Because normally you choose the morning when you want what you want to eat the evening. And then they said, I'm not allowed to eat anything until I get jelly and tea. And then I can only eat like the next day because they have to see if my tummy can handle it. They brought me my jelly and tea at like 9:30 that night. Now, this is not the nurses or the doctor's fault. This is the kitchen staff, which is like contractors, separate. So that was really, really like frustrating. I was so hungry, and honestly, if I didn't have pizza, I would probably have like passed out, literally like went into coma risk. Then they came to they fetch him every morning around like 8 to just put clean clothes on him. If I didn't do it yet, change his diaper if I didn't do it yet, and let the doctor check him, the pediatrician, and then they bring him straight back, and then the pediatrician comes to report whatever's going on. And I did get laser fissure on my nipples for breastfeeding like every morning, and on my cut once a day. My cut was doing very well, and I got a new plaster every day, and then lastly, like, the pain was much less as the previous time, and my nipples did not crack like the previous time. And then they did a belly test on him on day 3. Like, I slept there for 2 nights, and then I asked to go. So I got out on the Saturday, went in Thursday, got out Saturday. And when you have a C-section, walk as fast as you can. This time I was asking them to get up from the afternoon around 4 p.m. and no one was showing up to help me walk. My husband had to leave for a work emergency, and I was alone and I wanted to walk. I really wanted to go to the bathroom. Then by 7 o'clock, I just tried to get up on my own. I do have to say that the nurses and the doctors were amazing this time around, really, really amazing. My experience was really great overall, and having a sensitive C-section was just so much better. And if I ever have to do it again, I'll definitely do a sensitive C-section again. It was just better. I need to go, nurse, so thanks for watching, thanks for growing with us, and thanks for listening to my birth story. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments and watch this video over here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.